Now, how to be in this world but maintaining peace. How to be in this world and maintaining peace? Few tips. Remember, we have come to this world for a short time. Just like we have come to this auditorium and you are not going to sit for whole night. We have come for a short time, maybe few minutes. Similarly, we have come to this world for few days. Nobody knows how long. Just today, one of our friends, our brother who breathed his last, who knows when my turn will come. Remember one thing, we have come to this world for a short time, and this world is not our permanent place. Be very clear. You love your home, no matter. You love your family, you should. You love your neighbor, you love your friend. It is our duty. But knowing that this world is not our permanent place, we have to live, and when we live, we don't know. It might be just now, it might be tomorrow, it might be few years after, but we have to live. Another thing to remember, we came to this world as a naked boy or a girl, which they call in English, we came with birthday suit. We came in empty hands, and one day we have to leave this world. How much success, material glamour we might have accumulated, we have to leave this world in empty hands. Nothing we can carry. We have come to this world, we have to leave this world, we have come in empty hands, we have to go in empty hands, but we have come with a purpose. For example, you have come this afternoon with a purpose. You have not come here without purpose. This purpose is clear to you. You have come to see one so-called monk with orange colored clothes, with beard. You have come to see, you have come with a purpose. Similarly, we have come to this world with a purpose, no matter. You are students of management, no matter one might be a doctor, engineer, scientist, even a farmer, anybody, we have a purpose. That nothing happens without purpose. But what happens in our life, many of us are not aware of why did we come here. There is a story from the life of a great philosopher, author, George Bernard Shaw. He was traveling in the train, and while he was going, the ticket checker, whom we call here as TTI, he came. And he was verifying the tickets. When he came to the gentleman, George Bernard Shaw, he's searching for his ticket. Little bit worried. The ticket conductor said, "Sir, don't get worried. Be comfortable." He said, "Thank you." The ticket conductor went forward, but he's searching. On return, the ticket conductor found he's searching. "Sir, I told I don't need to look at your ticket. I know you. Thank you for your kindness. You know me, that's fine, but unfortunately, I don't know where am I to get down. It is written on the ticket, I have to get down at a particular destination. I don't know." Not only that, I will tell another incident from the life of my Guruji's Guruji, Paramahamsa Yogananda, a great yogi of modern India, after Swami Vivekananda, who created really a spiritual revolution in the whole world. His book, Autobiography of a Yogi, is a spiritually as well as a literary classic textbook in many universities. One day he was traveling in subway in New York City. Then he got the idea to write down a poem, and he was writing on samadhi, spiritual ecstasy. And he was so much immersed in his thought and his writing. Train has gone to the final destination, has come back, has gone and has come back quite a few times. He's not aware of And when he finished writing, he looked at his watch, so long. Then he had to get down, and while talking with his devotees, he said, "Do you know, the ticket controller didn't ask me. He didn't disturb me. Do you know why?" Everybody asked him why. He said he thought, the ticket conductor, I am an woman and I was writing some letter to my beloved. It was his thinking. And many people mistook him as a woman. It was because of his long hair, clean shaven face, and feminine appearance of his face. Sometimes people got confused. One day while he was taking food with a family, their little daughter came and looked at him out of curiosity. And Paramahansa asked, "My little child, you have some curiosity, isn't it?" "Yes." "Can you ask me, are you a man or woman?" That little girl asked. He said, "None of those. I'm neither man nor woman." We have come to this world with a purpose. You go back to the story of George Bernard Shaw. He doesn't know where to get down. Similarly, what is the goal in our life? For what we have come here? You have come to this institute with a goal, and you are working hard to achieve that goal. Similarly, you think the goal in our life. If we think of these three things, we have come to this world and we have to go any day. We have come in empty hands and we have to leave this world in empty hands. We have come with a purpose. If anybody who is conscious of the real purpose in life and trying to achieve it, then that person can really live in peace and harmony wherever one is. There will be no unhappiness. I have come, I have to go. There will be no unhappiness, there will be no restlessness, one will be in peace. But to be in this type of knowledge, one needs to be always little bit connected with divine. If there is no peace, there will be no harmony. Remember, peace within, it's harmony outside. I saw your topic just before I came, I saw the topic. Before that, I didn't know. I saw it is written peace, harmony, and positive life or living something. If there is no peace, there will be no harmony. Peace is an inner treasure. With this peaceful mind, we can maintain harmony with others. We have to live in this world just like the boat is to live in the lake. Having harmony in the lake with harmony of the passengers. Similarly, when we live in a family, there should be harmony with others. When we expand that family into society, there should be harmony in the members of society, and from society we can come to the world, the entire creation. If there is no harmony, again, with peace, harmony is possible. If there is no harmony, there will be difficulty in maintaining peace. For example, if there is a little wound in any part of the body, there is disharmony, and brain always sends message to that part of the body to be well protected. If mosquito is sitting here, immediately there is some perception of disharmony. The brain is giving message, take care of yourself. Mosquito is there. If there is little disharmony anywhere, we give a simple example. You are taking food, a little food particle, let it be a little piece of spinach is sticking in between your teeth. If a little piece of food or spinach is sticking in between teeth, what happens to tongue? The tongue is so much restless, the tongue is not in peace until and unless that foreign substance is taken out in between the teeth. And if the tongue is not able to do it, brain is directing, hand, use the toothpick, take it out. And once it is gone, the tongue is in peace. So if there is peace, there is harmony. If there is harmony, there is peace. Peace and harmony, they are well connected. Peace within and harmony with others. How to live with harmony? When I have to live with others, how to bring that harmony with others? Here, First need is the acceptance. Without acceptance, we cannot have harmony, remember. For example, we are born in a family. When we are born in a family, we have to accept, yes, this is the family where I am born, I can't change it. These are the family members. My father, my mother. My father never went to any college, doesn't matter. My mother only knows how to read and write, nothing more than that. Well and good. I have to accept where I am, let it be in the family, let it be in the classroom. For example, I am standing here in your front, I should accept it. If I cannot accept it, that I am to stand here and to face you, then there will be always inner resistance, resentment, and inner conflict, so that there will be no harmony.